Hey guys, Mike Roberts, the Converse Cowboy podcast. Doing a follow-up to TJ Roberts' interview. TJ is the ranch manager over at Tongue River, and had a really good time with him. For about 2 days, we got to spend, riding through the ranch and looking at horses all the way from yearlings to 3-year-olds to broodmares, and so it was a really cool experience just to be out there on the ranch. The weather was great, and it was a good time. Anytime I go to West Texas, I leave with a different perspective. Life seems to somewhat slow down a little bit. You can breathe the fresh air and really get to think, reflect. That's what I do anyway, looking through the philosophical lens as I often do. TJ's interview, he was full of cowboy stories, right? And I'm sure he could have sat there for hours longer and told even more. But the one thing that resonated with me after thinking, and after each one of these interviews, like I sit down with a notebook and I write down what did I learn, like what was some of the things that stood out to me. And the one thing that kept coming to mind was just consistency, right? Like to do what he's doing, to do what all of these cowboys are doing as horse trainers, those folks training horses, whether it's to do a job on a ranch or whether they're going into the arena. Consistency over an extended period of time is when growth happens, right? And sometimes that's hard to see because the growth may just be this much. It's very incremental. And that's something I'm going through right now, with business and growing this Converse Cowboy thing. Like you want to hit the fast forward button and just get to where you want to be, but that's not the way life works, And so as simple as that may be, like it's a constant reminder. And I was journaling about it this morning. And I heard Dick Pieper say it best. He talks about training 2-year-olds, and he's like, even at 1% a day, he'll say if you're improving a horse 1% a day, well, you're probably going too fast. And so I think that same lesson applies to us in life. Like when we want to hit that fast forward button, sometimes we just need to find the stillness and slow down and lean into the process, as cliche as that is. I know a lot of people say that, but as I was journaling this morning, that just stuck with me. And it's like, it's all good. Everything's happening for me right now. Whatever these challenges are that may be out of my control, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm building my character through it all. And so you have an option. You can either stop, you can hit the pause button, you can hit the stop button, you can rewind, or you can do a number of different things. But for me, it's just to keep going on the journey, and to trust the process and trust my intuition to guide me. And of course, we will veer. I veer from time to time, but I think at times like we need to recalibrate or maybe refocus, And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, hitting the recalibrate button, and that's it. Like without judgment. To do all of these things without judgment, because whenever we hit speed bumps in life, I know for me, that's something that I would judge myself for in the sense like, well, I'm not good enough, I'm a piece of shit for this reason, or whatever it is, whatever these bullshit stories are we make up. But it really is, it's just a recalibration, move on without judgment, acknowledge what's happening. I think that's very important, to be consciously aware of what's going on in your head. Is it that little voice, or is it intuition? Still working on figuring out how to decipher which is which, but with meditation and with the journaling and all of these daily practices, that seems to get more clear. And so again, I'm not saying I have it all figured out. These are just things that I do, but consistency is one of the things that's been on my mind lately, and just to stay on that path, knowing that the compound effect will take over at some point. And when I say consistent, like I don't mean do this for a few days or a few weeks or even a few months. We won't see the results. Like what I did 2 years ago is allowing me to do what I'm doing right now. And in 2 years from now, what I'm doing right now is going to enable that. So it's a long period of time, right? So when you combine consistent work ethic, consistent daily practices, and being okay, like not seeing the instant gratification. We live in this microwave society where we want things to happen right now, and it doesn't work like that. At least for any of those people, and it's hard too, because we will watch TV or we'll see people on the internet, and it's like, well, they're an overnight success. Well, maybe you notice them overnight, but the years of the hard work and the shit they had to go through to get to that overnight success may have taken years or decades, but we never see that part of it. We never see the struggle. We never see the failures. We only see the successes. We only see them once they've made it. We see the highlight reel. We can choose to start a new path, right? And we always want to look for a result. We want to, as a competitive person, I know I can only speak for myself, but we want to know what the result or the outcome is. But really, after thinking about it, like, it's never going to end. Like, it's not about the outcome. It's not about the result. It's about the amount of effort that we put into it with focused intent, like not going through the motions. That's not what I'm talking about when I say consistent. Like, when I'm talking about consistency, I'm talking about dialed in, 100% focused intent on whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve. So, like, for me, I got into running about a year ago. When I got done playing ball, I said I would never run again in my life. And then I read a book by David Goggins called Can't Hurt Me. Highly recommend, by the way. And so I got into running, and I could barely run a half a mile. Like, thought I was gonna die, couldn't breathe. And just last week, I ran my fastest mile. I think it was 5:35. So 5 minutes and 35 seconds. There's no way I could even comprehend that a year ago. But by staying consistent, running every single week, we're able to build to that, And so I think throughout life, like, that's something that gets overlooked. Whether we realize it or not, we're creating habits every single day, good or bad, conscious or unconscious. Like, we are creating the habits that develop our life, our story. And what's really cool is we can dictate that. Like, we can be the director of our own life if we're conscious enough about it. If we have enough awareness to realize and not get caught up in the bullshit of social conditioning and the stuff that we have been taught to value. And so with that being said, I'm going to go back to consistency, because it's not like at one time I thought, I can just sit down and meditate and all of these answers are going to come to me. Whether you're trying to find your purpose in this life, or which is the reason I'm sitting here today. I started this soul searching journey. What I may not have understood then, I understand today. And what I don't understand today, I may understand in 6 months, but the point of it is to continue on this journey. I say it all the time. The journey is the destination. There is no place that you will get to and you will have achieved everything and mastered everything and there's no more work to do. Doesn't exist. There's not a place. So guys, thank you again for following along. I'm curious though, I leave my feedback on these interviews every week. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. What were y'all's takeaways? Leave a comment below. For those that leave a comment, we will enter your name in a drawing and we'll be giving away a free Converse Cowboy t-shirt. So as always, stay grateful and remember, the journey is the destination.